to start doing this again. I've got a fair bit to do to kamikaze. It's all wrapped up at the moment. I'll just pull this cover off. So I started filming a couple of days ago. What's going on here? Started filming a couple of days ago to try and get used to being back behind the camera again and getting stuff done. So I watched behind that bar. As you can see here, it was filthy. Yeah, stripped the supercharger out of it. So yeah, supercharger's gone, all the kit's gone, so the bar had to come off. And I washed behind all the bar, so I just got to detail it. But I definitely want a clean car. I've got to write a list. I've got to go to Autobarn. I went there the other day and picked up some fittings, which is great for the new intake. I'll show you that in a minute. If you follow me on social media, you probably see what it is or know what it is. It's nothing special. It's just a nice decent single plane. Super spicy hot today, so I thought I might as well run down there, write a list. Let's go to Autobarn, Albion Park. Let's do it. Put 3-inch tailpipes on the SV6 and the gasket's leaking, sounds like shit. Need some thread, CI2. If I can't find the tape, I'll come and get this because I'll probably use that on a lot of things. It's really good, this stuff. But yeah, this Autobarn is like next level, man. It's massive, it's sexy. Here all the time, but let's go get some hoses. I just got back from Autobarn with a couple of them things, hoses and that I needed. This is the setup that's going on it. So people have probably already seen it. Brake booster, map sensor, and that breather that goes to, it goes to some sort of bloody flux capacitor and back into the fuel breather, I think, I don't know. But that's what that's for. Obviously I just need to give this a quick clean up and paint the throttle body. And I'll show you how I made this adapter. It's all functional with the nut on top. I'll go through on a different, probably like a reel or something. It's these bolts here that I think are the wrong thread pitch, because the smaller ones that go just from the adapter to the manifold are perfect. You can do them right in by hand, easy. So a couple of little things to work out still. Let's get that manifold painted, that throttle body, sorry, and that valley plate painted. Just set up a little spot out here in the sun to paint it, away from the car. So, I love living here. It's like, yeah, all the birds, I love it. But anyway, little barbecue area. Love this joint. So, just out here in the sun, I'll just pick it up like this and spray by hand up underneath, and then I'll sit it back down sort of flat. I'll find somewhere flat. Let that dry for 10 minutes and we'll just keep doing it until I'm happy. I ended up getting that valley plate as well, just masked off the oil pressure dealio. Not gonna look the best, but it's gonna look black. That's all that matters. And super hot day, I nearly can't even be out here, I'm sweating. So I'll let them dry. I'll fit that valley plate to servo and then start just dummy fitting everything, but at least I'll finalise the manifold to lift on and off. it's got to come off anyway. It's got to go get a cam done. So what we're getting, I think the last thing I can really do is just get measurements for these harnesses for Lukey. So yeah, just pretty much just got to take these off, but I've got to make measurements for them too, which I really should do once the manifold's all on actually, so there's no point rushing it. NA6, that's where it's at. Oh, that's really hot, sitting in that sun. So dyslexic, but no, foot-pounds is 18, Newton meters was 25. Yep, just went in like some sort of a pattern. It's on there. All right, during the heat, I ran out as soon as the valley plate was dry, grabbed it, bolted it down, just wanted to minimize that engine being open. Didn't film it because it was just, yeah, a bit of a rush, or I filmed talking it down, but not sort of what I was doing, because I just had to do it. 18 and 25, I can't remember if it was Newton meters or Newton meters and foot pounds. I get confused. It was one of them, but apparently it was both of them, because they're the same. It's done. Let's go check out the throttle body. It turned out sick. Actually, I'll go grab the setup and we'll just dummy fit it. That's what we'll do. There we go. With those fittings on, that was actually, it's in place. So it's all lined up. But with the fittings on, it only just fits. If you can see down in there, those brass fittings fit just underneath that plastic. Last time I dummy fitted it, I just had it all complete and slid it in there, and I never even saw that issue. But putting it in separate, had that issue. But once it's in there, it's all clear. I'm glad I went with the single, because the tunnel ram, I would have had to have cut all that plastic out. The motor just sits so far back. Super happy. That throttle body turned out really well. Check it out. That throttle body's clean enough for me. Yeah, that's fat. I'm obviously going to go black. I might probably end up painting it. I like to powder coat it. That's all I could buy at the time. It was the chrome one. So it's going to be black. But yeah. Going to do a black water pump. I'll buy a new water pump and paint it black and fit it when we do the cam, and try and get the rocker covers painted at least. But so far it's looking good. Yeah, very, very dirty, even though, I don't know. It's like the motor needs to come out and be pressure cleaned and painted. That's where I wanted that. But anyway, we're getting there slowly. It's looking the goods. Still got to do the fuel rail crossover. Do the fuel rail crossover, like a block off, and then whatever, run it to that fitting at the back there. Yeah, I just put an old manifold bolt in and got it started on the thread, just so I knew the alignment. And check out that. Where's those fittings? Yeah, those fittings are still just in there. Yeah. Like a glove. Anyway, looking good, pretty stoked. Alright guys, Monday arvo, super struggling here. Hot yesterday, it's busy at work today, but we're back on it. We're going to fit these hoses up to those fittings and get this harness measured up and sent out to get them extended. But every time I see this setup, I love it. Super stoked in it. Yeah, I love to paint this radiator support bracket. One day, it'll be a tidy rig one day. And so, brake booster comes off around the back of this head here and used to come forward to the blower. Now I'm going to route it up to go to the back of the fitting that I showed you yesterday. I'm going to tighten this deal up. This is that flux capacitor deal. I don't know what it's doing. It goes to the fuel tank breather, I believe, but it just sits here. And that's just meant to go into vacuum. So I'm going to route it down or back. I don't know how I'm going to do it neatly. To one of the fittings at the back. And map sensor, I'm going to route it to here. Let me do that and I'll come back to you. Alright, that was easy. There's no point showing you. It's literally put the hose on one end of the barb, run it under the manifold into its spot and just cut it. So it was pretty simple. So the map sensor I ran up under, and that's the map sensor plug. So it's going to be in this location somewhere, probably off that bolt. Coming up, and then plug it in, and that will go to the back of that. Left it a little bit longer just in case. And then this deal that goes to the fuel tank breather, I believe. I'm not sure, someone can let me know what that is, but that's the plug for that. It bolts on there, and then zip tie all that together and keep that as neat as possible. Probably even run it up one side. Breather wise, it's all plumbed. And that's how it's going to go. This side's always neater with the injectors, but because of this deal just makes everything messier near the rail. And I want to be able to see that HOLLEY EFI. So I got that felt tape, electrical felt tape, to wrap all this harness up and tuck all the injectors away. And all the injector plugs are hooked up. I can tuck it down. I just plugged a couple of things in just for this mock, just to make sure. That's breather, it runs across the front, nice and ugly like. So I will redo all this with the felt tape to make it look a bit neater. But at the moment, getting the cam in and getting it friendly for the mechanic and the tuner to do what they need to do is my priority. Cleaning it up and tucking things is something I can do once it's home. So I've got to keep that in mind too, just to make it easy for them. Worried about having to cut into that bonnet because it's all fresh. Still might use the other cow bonnet yet, and if I use that other cow bonnet, I don't care if I hack into that. It's an old bonnet. This one is like fresh, and the pearls matching all the front guards and the front end. That's why I don't want to touch it. But if I do it and I can pull it off, it's going to look so good. So good. Alright, let's measure up some harnesses. It is steamy, man. Alright, so this is what I got. Obviously, breather lines are good. This harness runs across for the throttle. It almost fits. It's probably 2 or 3 inches short because I want to run that harness in line with this the breather pipe, and keep it all neat. So it's probably that short, so I'll say 3 inches. And then for this deal, my air temperature sensor, that usually I think in the front of the standard, it's just that little plastic sensor. On the blower it ran up to the side and in the side through like a brass fitting. Through this one I'm going to extend it. I've just used an old phone charger that we've all got laying around. this one's no good. Run it right up and under. So I can zip tie it up to the back of the, probably not to the hoses, but clean it up anyway. There's a little bit of room there. And I'll leave it so I could put a plug up underneath the back of the filter if I don't find another sensor for the manifold itself. So I'll just run it up the back there. At least if I do that, I can use a standard sensor that's usually in the plastic in the front. I'll just drill a hole and stick it up in there. Doing it that way is going to allow me no trouble, hopefully. Man, we're getting there. We're cooking. Let's do this. All right, peace.